Hi Ray, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Hey, Rich.
Thanks for your time again today. Before we get going, I'll just run you through the admin, and once we've got that out of the way, we can start the session. So, obviously, as you know, as you've been here before, the bathroom's this way, and the fire exit is this way. As I said previously, everything that we discuss is confidential and between us, so nothing leaves this room, unless, of course, there are any potential safety issues where either your safety or someone else's safety could be in danger, and then I may need to refer to an outside party, but I'm sure that won't be necessary. So with all of that said, are you happy to proceed?
Sure. Yep. Sounds good.
Fabulous. Okay. So obviously we've talked about nutrition and a few other different things over the last few sessions. Was there anything in particular that was on your mind today that you wanted to work through and have a chat about?
Yep. I think one of the things I've been struggling with in terms of trying to eat healthy is those cravings for sweet and salty foods.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So some strategies around what I can do there, because I'm trying really hard, but chocolate and chips, it's still, they're still quite desirable.
Yeah, so those are the go-to foods when it's a sugar and a salt desire. Yeah,
I think so. It's those two foods mostly. Yep. So that's sort of what I put it down to. I'm not sure what else it is about those foods.
Yep. Okay. So is this something that sort of comes and goes, or is it something that's been around for a while in terms of those cravings?
Oh, it's been around for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
They do come and go, but I can, I guess, control it for a little while, and then they just kind of sneak back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you say you control it for a while, what sort of things do you do to control it?
Well, I just don't think about it. They just don't turn up in my head. I'm not sure why that might be.
Okay. Is there any seasonality to this? Do you notice it more in winter as opposed to summer where we're now?
Definitely in winter. I do want to eat more in winter. Yeah.
Yeah. So is it absent in summer or still around?
Maybe around Christmas, definitely. Still around.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So it's not just about cold weather, winter time necessarily.
Not necessarily, I don't think.
Okay.
I mean, chips and chocolate are good at any time, really.
They've certainly got the mouth appeal, haven't they?
Yeah.
So in your mind, what would be the situation where you'd be happy with your your chocolate and crisps? I say crisps.
Cheese is quite good too.
Yeah, let's not get onto that yet. So what I'm trying to establish is where would you be happy? So do you need it to be eliminated or lessened? What's the happy place?
I think it needs to be under control. At the moment, it's like they're like everyday foods, and they really can't be, because, as you know, I've been trying really hard to lose some weight and to just be healthier and improve my gut health and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
So they can't be everyday foods, can they?
Sure. Okay. So getting them from being everyday foods to being them occasional foods, would that be sort of the happy place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Occasional. Occasional means less than once a week, doesn't it?
It can mean whatever you want it to mean. So yeah, occasional certainly would be less than half, maybe less than a quarter.
Wow.
Can I share? Do you mind me sharing one of my tips?
Go for it.
So often I'll say to people, if you can try and find an 80-20 balance, 80% of the time you're eating well, you're eating your good nutritious food, And then there's another 20% where you may be allowed these occasional foods that you allow yourself to enjoy them, enjoy the taste, enjoy the flavor, enjoy the difference that it brings to your week, but keeping that proportion in check so that, the majority of the time you're staying on the healthy side of things.
If I look at it like that, it probably would be 20% of my day. The chocolate and the chips turn up.
So about a fifth of your day, that would be a fifth of the food
20%.
that you eat? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
If I'm thinking I have a decent breakfast and a decent lunch and a decent dinner, I mean, there's those 2 snacks in between. That could probably add up to about 20% each day.
Yeah. Okay.
It probably needs to be less than that, I would say.
Sure. It sounds like even if, you may not be having large quantities, but maybe instead of it being those 2 snacks, could it potentially work towards being maybe 1 and then maybe less frequent after that, perhaps?
So try and taper off. What would you suggest I have instead for snacks?
Great question. So that's probably a great way of looking at it, Ray, actually, is that if you are hungry and you feel like you need those snacks, finding something that replaces the food that you're trying to reduce rather than just eliminating it altogether could be a good pathway forwards, perhaps.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you tried nuts?
Like chocolate-covered scorched almonds? Sure.
So there's a nut in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to substitute one of your snacks for, if it's an almond, whether it's a plain nut rather than a chocolate-covered nut. Hey, well, even if you go from chocolate to chocolate with nut, you're going to be heading in the right direction. Perhaps not necessarily reducing the calorific input.
Right. Yeah.
That would be my only concern, is that, if you substituted chocolate for nut and chocolate, you're actually possibly going up in total energy consumption. However, if that's not necessarily the prime concern here, it's more about changing the habit and then looking at the calories and the energy later. Okay, both.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you say that, I'm thinking Whittaker's fruit and nut, but that's obviously not what you mean.
Not quite. No. We're staying on this chocolate theme, aren't we? I guess.
Really like chocolate. Yeah.
I guess let's explore that a little bit, because, I mean, obviously, you're a bright woman and you know what's good for you, what's not good for you, and because we're kind of having this conversation anyway. But do you know where those cravings have come from? What may be driving those things?
I don't know. I'm suspecting it's sugar because it's a milk chocolate that I would much prefer.
Okay.
I could probably say no to a dark chocolate.
Okay. So do you think it may be an energy-related craving in terms of lack of?
Maybe. I hadn't thought about that. It's possible. It just feels good. Like you say, it's got that mouthfeel, especially with the milk chocolate. I don't really get that with a dark chocolate. So maybe it is about the sugar and the energy.
Okay. What sort of comes to mind for you when you think about energy and how you're feeling day to day?
Day to day, I mean, I have an early start, and sometimes I go to bed late. So it's a little bit lacking in the sleep. Maybe that contributes to it. I hadn't really thought about it. Yeah.
Okay. And I guess you may not know the answer to this because it's just sort of, cropped up, but can you link days where you've sort of thought, oh, I need more chocolate, I need more crisps, following a day where you've gone to bed late?
I haven't tracked it, but that might be a good idea to track it, do you think?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll pencil that in as as something? Yeah.
An action plan?
Yeah, we'll come back to that one. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Excellent. All right.
Yep. That sounds like a good idea.
Cool. Is there anything else that you think could be having an impact on your energy other than the sleep thing?
I don't know. I try to get my exercise in each day.
Yeah.
That doesn't always happen. It kind of depends on how my day looks. Sometimes there's just no time for it, and then I'll miss it. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Is it important to you to get that exercise in?
It is. And once I'm feeling less inclined to, I think low motivation again. And then if I'm less inclined to, I'm probably more likely to have something to eat to feel better.
Okay. So again, it might be interesting to know if there's a link there, a little bit like the sleep.
Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking I need to track that for a week or so, maybe 2. So looking at sleep.
Yeah. If you did it for a couple, then you'd be able to compare one with the previous.
Yeah.
If there were any patterns.
Yeah. Sleep, chocolate consumption, exercise, energy. Okay. Yep. I don't know if where I am in my months and my cycles, if that affects it as well. I haven't really thought about it too much.
Okay. And there are some great trackers out there that you could use for that.
Okay.
That may be useful to, again, maybe overlay that with the other stuff.
Yep. Yep. So I'll just find those looking on
App Store. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a couple that I can send you. I haven't got my phone with me at the moment, but I've got a couple that I've come across which are really useful. Some are built into other technology, like Garmin have their own.
Right.
And the name of them escapes me now, but I'll send you a message and you can just take a look and see which one appeals the most. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Right. Okay. I guess it's probably worth asking that question again. Is there anything else? We've covered a little bit already, which sounds like there's some good possibilities to investigate, I suppose, at this stage before you have some real concrete information. I think that sounds like it might be some use before we kind of go, right, we need to do this. Be a bit more informed. So to repeat that question, anything else? We've talked about sleep, we've talked about exercise, talked about your cycle. Any other sort of factors that you may think may be involved?
I can't think of anything else. I think that covers quite a lot. I hadn't really thought about any of those things coming into this today. So I think that's really good.
Excellent. Great. All right. Well, that sounds like it's sort of forming its own little bit of a plan there in terms of action steps. So if we sort of recap a little bit, just to sort of make sure we're on the same page. So you're going to have a look at what your routine is with sleep. So when you're going to bed, when you're waking up, probably those 2 bits of information are enough, aren't they?
Yeah. Yep.
And then what else is happening during the day in terms of those cravings? I guess it's just a little bit of a diary by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
And seeing if there's any link, and then overlaying monthly cycle patterns with that same information in terms of sleep. The only thing we've missed out is exercise, so that would be the other component to add into that food diary. Does that sound like it's a doable thing though, Rae? To capture all that?
I think I just need to be a little bit more organized and make sure I've got my notebook there so I can record it all.
Okay.
I like to write it rather than put it on my phone.
Okay.
Cool. One of the other things that just popped into my head when you said through the day was that idea of having a treat after a difficult client or something like that. So, she was so difficult. I deserve something for that.
Okay.
Some of that happens as well.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. Mm.
So it sounds like you're looking for some sort of a reward.
Reward, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For being, I don't know, patient with that person, or being, yeah.
So putting up with them.
Yeah, that.
Their stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So again, does that seem like a pattern? It sounds like you've kind of gone, aha. Is that a pattern?
Yeah, it just occurred to me as you were summing up there. So, yeah, there's a bit of that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like there may be some additional columns in the...
What would that look like?
Well, so if I was, this is the way my brain works, if I may share, I'd have the days along the side, down the left-hand column, and I'd have the sleep, nutrition, exercise, difficult clients across the top.
Okay, yep.
And, if something occurs, it could be as simple as a tick, like, or it could be, sleep, 8 a.m., woke up, 10 p.m., went to bed, difficult client tick or difficult client blank.
Yep.
I'm thinking, trying to make it as nice and easy as possible. So it's just a quick reference. And then because it's all in one place, you can start to kind of correlate if these things are linked.
Yep.
Yeah. If that sounds, would that work for your brain?
Yep. I think that would be quite good. And then just have like, how much, what did I eat, or what are those foods that are of concern?
Yes. Yep. So another one for what it was. Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
Good thinking.
Oh, good. So having said all of that, do you feel as though that is something that's reasonably achievable for a couple of weeks?
Yeah. Yep. I think so.
Cool.
Just to see what's driving it. I really don't know.
And so on a sliding scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10, 10 being it's going to happen immediately, and 1 being probably not, where do you see that being for you in terms of that plan?
I think that sounds like a really good plan. So I'm going to say it's a 9 out of 10.
Ooh,
excellent. This sounds like it's easily done.
Nice. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Love that. That sounds almost perfect. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yep. So how can I support you in terms of the execution of that, Ray, in terms of sort of that happening? How can I support or keep you to that plan in any way?
I think I need a little check-in, and like every couple of days, just to make sure I'm doing it.
Sure thing. Yeah. And what's the preferred method of check-in?
A text or an email would be really good, I think. Just a little reminder through the day. Okay. Have you done this yet for today? Or something like that.
Okay.
That'd be really good.
Okay.
Because I think it's really easy to forget.
Absolutely. Not that it may not be a lack of desire. It just could be time. Yeah. Okay. I'll just make a little diary note to message you every couple of days. Done. Okay.
That'd be great. Yep.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, that's pretty good. It feels like we've covered a reasonable amount of ground there, Ray.
Yep, absolutely.
And, it sounds like, I think quite possibly there could be some really good findings, which may, I guess, step you towards finding out more about these cravings and what might be driving them. It could be one thing, or it could be a combination of things, possibly. And I guess when we catch up again, we can sort of chew through the results and maybe sort of talk about what that reveals and where to from there.
Yep, sounds good.
Excellent. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to cover off or add in there, Ray, before we
I think that's enough for me to carry on with, so that's really good. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Fabulous. All right then.
Oh.
Well, it's been good to catch up, and good luck with that little capturing of information over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, thanks, Rich. That's
awesome.
Great.
Okay. Thanks, Ray. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.